Hey everybody, this is George Brasher with Shakedown of Thunder Sports, and you're about to watch the two Irish brothers. Go Irish.
Tyree. Here's Tyree with the lane. Tyree! Whoa! Can he get there? Tyree at the 30, 20, 10, touchdown, Notre Dame! Woo! 98 big ones!
How's it going, everyone? I am ND Sean 45.
I'm Irish Benjamin 57.
And together we make up this little ordeal known as the Two Irish Brothers Show. As you guys saw in the intro, you know what to do. You've known before that. Hit the subscribe tab in the bottom right-hand corner. Like or dislike this video to help the algorithm. And hit the like button to this channel and that bell icon so you will never miss a Two Irish Brothers episode. Also, the travel packages for Vince Rizzuto and our buddy, former Notre Dame tight end Irv Smith, are in the description box below. Now, for starters, Ben, I see you got a little something new going on there. Why don't you tell us about
it? What do you think? You like it?
It's no, man, it's great. It looks great, dude. Representing both us and your Miami Dolphins, which most people should know that you're a fan of. So what made you decide on the change?
A little bit easier to record down here, and if I have to yell or be loud or all that, I don't have to worry about bothering anybody else in the household. So this is going to slightly change a little bit once more, but just changing pace a little bit and changing scenery, if you will.
Well, it looks good, and everybody has to change something sometime. And not that it was bad before, but this looks awesome, man. It looks great.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
So, getting right into business here, Ben. We got our first W. It feels great. How do you feel?
I feel great. People can say, well, it was Cal, they struggled, and all that. You know what? A win's a win. I got the jersey on finally. I only wear a jersey in recaps when we win games, not lose games. So I wasn't able to wear it for the first two recaps. Finally get to wear it. Super, super stoked, super excited. And you know what? Both my teams won, so I get to talk trash all week.
Nice. I love it. I love when I get to do that too, man. So one thing I do have to say though as well, just while it's still on the top of my mind, why is everybody making such a stink about the Tommy Rees video that was leaked where he's telling Pine to do his effing job?
I don't know, man. I guess we got a bunch of pushovers in the fan base from time to time because, I mean, I don't know about you, but multiple times throughout playing not just football but a lot of the other sports that I played, I got yelled at. And there were F-bombs involved, even when I was younger than what Chris Pine is. So,
you mean Drew Pine?
Drew Pine. So, yeah, I'm like, I mean, these guys are, borderline adults here. Like, we're all good. It's no big deal. So,
it's so stupid, the people that are making a deal out of this, because that's what you want to see your coaches do. And in particular, that's what I want to see Tommy Rees doing. Because there was no fire from him. He finally showed some. That's what everybody else wanted. Now they're like, "Oh, how dare he curse at him? What an unclassy person!" Just all of you need to shut the hell up.
Yeah,
that's what you want to see your coaches do.
Yeah,
get some fire.
He's feeling the heat. He's feeling the heat. You can see it. You can see that he's feeling the heat, and he wants to win just as bad as you guys. He's tired of hearing about how this offense is inept and how, we shouldn't be doing this and that. He's tired of it, and he was frustrated, and it happens. And that's something that I want to see, like you said.
Yes, exactly. And so with that said about Tommy Rees, let's get right into recapping the game here. So the Irish win 24-17. It's probably not a lot of what a lot of us didn't want to see. We probably everybody wanted to see a bigger margin of victory than that. But like you and I said, Ben, we both had an idea that this was going to probably be a one-score game. Yep. You have a first-time starting quarterback out there at the collegiate level. So he's got a lot of butterflies in his stomach. He's nervous. He's scared. And that first half with Drew Pine, it did take him a while to get settled in. I mean, overall, the first half, and I admit this, I there was a little war that I was in yesterday with some people on Twitter, but no, I was concerned in the first half because the majority of the drives, except the one scoring drive that we had, it was looking pretty rough with Drew Pine in that offense. They weren't getting a lot done, and thankfully our defense was doing its job this week, and keeping Cal in check. I mean, the defense played extremely well all game, but once we hit that second half and Drew Pine was able to get relaxed, it trickled down to the rest of the offense. They got relaxed. They started doing their thing. But Drew Pine, I thought for his first collegiate start, he looked great. I got the stats right here. 17 to 23, 150 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. And of course, you have some people saying, oh, well, he sucks. He's the worst quarterback that we've ever had start for us. And I'm just like, if those overall numbers are what you consider sucking, then you don't know football. You're a complete idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, where's the rationality and the tolerance that people that they need to have for this situation? He's a first-time starting quarterback at the collegiate level. He's going to have some struggles to start the game. Why is that so hard to understand? But you got all these people that have these high expectations from the start. They expect him to be Joe Montana or Joe Theismann from day one. I mean, even Joe Theismann said in the Guinness commercial that he was at the bottom of the depth chart when he came to Notre Dame. So yeah, you people have to have a little tolerance, the ones that are dogging this kid.
Well, in this season so far has shown that the team has some issues and kinks to work out. We saw it. And if you think that, all of a sudden your first 2 games you struggle, and then you're just going to flip a switch and blow Cal out, and Drew Pine's going to play like Stetson Bennett's playing at Georgia right now, I mean, that's not going to happen. I'm sorry. Like, that's just an unrealistic expectation. So the fact that there were adjustments made, because we saw the adjustments yesterday. We saw, and then we saw Pine simmer down, take a step back, breathe, I guess getting an earful from Tommy Rees kind of lit a fire under him, and even Mayer tapped him on the head when they went off the field the one time and was like, look, man, it's all good. We're not going to worry about that. Let's just do our jobs. They made the adjustments. And Notre Dame came away with the victory. And we all said it. We said it. John said it. 5 Foot Nothing said it. Everybody said it this week. This is a find a way to win. This is not – we're going into this expecting to win 63-0. This is find the way to win. And Notre Dame did. Okay, baby steps. Now the focus shifts after this Cal game.
Speaking of John, I got to share one thing. You remember the comment in his recent, I think it was in his preview where he talked about this is essentially tailgating for grandma's funeral.
Yeah.
Would it shock you if when my paternal grandmother passed away that we actually kind of did that? Not actually like had food outside or anything, but a lot of us, along with the funeral director, were actually taking shots of whiskey.
Yeah.
It's true. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, with Drew Pine, yeah, he had a pretty solid game, but I also have to give props to Tommy Rees on this one as well, because I've been angry at him. I know you've been angry at him. A lot of people have. Yeah. But I have to give him props because he actually did a pretty good job this week.
Yeah, yesterday we wanted to see improvement, and we saw it. Okay, this is a step in the right direction. Now, are we fully there yet? No, of course not. Okay, the step in the right direction was Chris Tyree got more involved. Estime got more involved. Okay, we saw Merriweather out there from time to time. Okay, these were things that we wanted to see in the Marshall game that we didn't get to see. Okay, so that adjustment was being made. Tommy Rees figured it out. Okay, has he fully 100% fixed it? No. But, like I said, a step in the right direction. Tyree, let's go down the list. Tyree rushed for 17 times for 66 yards. Okay? That's a step in the right direction because coming into this game, he had 12 touches total. So we literally equaled and went past the equalness of that in one game. Love it.
Well, not to mention too, he contributed to the receiving game, 5 receptions, 44 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Yes. You know,
I mean,
this is what we need to do, because if you're not going to be able to do some of the elite things that we're wanting to see, okay, we have to do the smaller things, like getting our playmakers the ball when we can. Him and Mayer were the focal point of the offense yesterday, and it showed. But guess what? When you have a focal point, that's who you go to. I mean, best example, Alabama had that running back last year, and beginning of that national championship, Alabama just gave him the ball, and Georgia had no answer. And then when he got hurt, then they kind of leveled the playing field a little bit. Not saying that's right or wrong, but that's what happened.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with giving your playmakers the ball. People are acting like, well, if we're only going to give Tyree the ball, or if we're only going to give Mayer the ball, then that's who you give the ball to. Sorry. Like,
well, and also let's not forget about Audric Estime in this, because he contributed just like Tyree did. He had 18 carries for 76 yards and 1 touchdown, and he also had 3 catches for 43 yards. So we are seeing production out of our running backs, and of course you definitely want to see the receivers themselves get more involved than what they have been. But when you've got a first-time starting quarterback at the collegiate level, you have to break him in and ease him in, gradually.
Yeah.
And I think with this offense and with the contributions from Tyree, like we've been talking about, look what happens when you utilize them the way you should be utilizing them.
Yeah.
You're going to see results. And I know people are complaining too about, like I've heard some stupid comments saying like, well, look, Drew Pine sucks because he was only throwing balls 5 yards deep. It's like, it just goes back to what I just said about easing them in. You have, first off, this isn't just about Drew Pine here. This is about finding ways to win. And if doing little short passes is what helps you win for the time being, then you go with what's working.
Yep.
Because so far, through the 2 games prior, that other stuff you were trying wasn't working.
Yeah. Let me give you a crazy statistic, Sean. Okay, we're gonna jump into the pro level. Last season, did you know that Mahomes had less than 10 passes of over 30 yards to Tyreek Hill in Kansas City last year?
No, I didn't know that.
Lots of short passes, get the guy the ball, let him do the work. Even the pros do it.
I mean, look, I get it. People want to see the long downfield shots that are exciting, and you want to see that your receivers go up and get them. But we talked about this last night. This game is not about statistics. It's about winning and losing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't care how we win. I don't care if it's by 200 points or 2 points, or if it's by 300 yards or 30 yards. If we're winning the game, yes, it's aggravating that those things aren't happening. I get that. But everything is situational. Everybody acts like with these games, like last night with us against Cal. Okay, we struggled in the first half against Cal, and then we turned it around and all that. Everybody acts like it's the end of the world. Okay, and then we have no chance against North Carolina. We have no chance against Brigham Young. We have no chance against Clemson. We have no chance against Southern Cal. Everything's situational. Okay, this was the win. We win. We got the momentum going. It's going. The tides are changing a little bit, if you will. Okay, we're taking a step in the right direction. Pine got his first start. It's out of his system. There was the pressure to win. He had a lot. You understand, Pine had a lot of pressure riding on him, and I'm not making excuses for him, but these are facts. He had a lot of pressure riding on him in this game. It was, okay, you need to beat Cal. You're in your first start, and you need to beat Cal. Marcus Freeman hasn't won a game, so we need to get Marcus Freeman to win. And all these things stack up on top of each other, and it all comes down to Pine, okay? That's a lot of pressure. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong, and I get that, if you want to be like Alabama and you want to be like Georgia and all that, top dogs, that's to be expected. But would a lot of these people that are griping about Pine be able to handle that pressure? I seriously doubt it. Seriously.
People online are always going to talk, and that's where there's people like me. I can't speak for you, but there's people like me to shut them down. But the good news is, after seeing Pine's performance yesterday, we have something to work with as far as a quarterback goes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's going to be a Hall of Famer or the next Joe Montana, Brady Quinn, or whoever, but we've got something to work with.
Yeah.
We've got something that we can build with this guy and hopefully do good things with. So the big thing here now is, okay, you've taken that first step. You got him broken in. Now bring out his full potential. Because if you go down after this, then there's problems. So I think we kind of got our question, maybe not 100% fully answered here, but it might have very well been a quarterback issue and not necessarily a coaching issue, but rather a combination of both, I think.
Yeah. I think it could have been a combination of both, and I think now the pressure's on the team. I mean, we saw it with Tommy Rees. We saw the frustration. We saw, these guys hearing about it all week. We saw Freeman saying we need to hold ourselves accountable. We saw it. We saw all these guys. People tell all these coaches say, it's just noise and you have to ignore it. These players see the tweets. These players see these pundits. These players see all this stuff. They feel it. They feel the pressure.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
This is the momentum swinger. Okay, you've got the win. You're now 1-2. Okay. Just baby steps. And now we're on to North Carolina. First, next step. Not the first step, the next step.
Yep.
But in this game, like you said, the defense did well. We did what we needed to do. We righted a bunch of problems. We got our first interception, first turnover of the season.
They didn't count that, unfortunately.
I count it. That's a big momentum thing. The guys love that, So there's a lot of pressure on Plummer yesterday. That's what you're going to have to do in the upcoming weeks.
Well, and let me just say one thing real quick. We got to talk about the defense briefly. You look at Cal's numbers. The defense did give up a lot of yards. But I will say this, the defense, they stepped up big time and made the plays when they needed to. I mean, Jacob Lacey in particular, that kid had himself a game. Three tackles, 2 assists, and 2 sacks. Overall, let's see. Let me see here. 2, 3, 4, 5. That defense had 6 sacks yesterday.
Yep. That's
so
huge. That's
huge performance.
Yeah, that's a huge momentum mover. You go, look, okay, we had a rough time with Marshall. We had a rough time with Ohio State. Marshall, maybe it was a fluke. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Okay, now, look, we did this against Cal. Let's keep it going. Let's keep that motor running. Let's keep this pressure up that people expect us to have.
Yes, exactly. Well, and also one brief note, I think everybody can stop worrying about Blake Groupie. He only had 1 attempt, but it was from like 47 yards out, and he nailed it. So, and also the offsides penalty in the first half, yeah, I think it was wrong. But as a fan, I'm glad to have the break. I'm glad to have the break. I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah, refs are imperfect. I mean, it just Cal had multiple catches that probably should have been reviewed, that would have been taken back, and all that if they'd been actually reviewed. It happens, okay? It happens, and if somebody's going to say on either side that one team deserved to win and one team didn't, it happens. And you know what? What I've always said is, if you're going to let one play dictate the entire outcome of the game, you should have never been there in the first place. So,
and on that note, we will leave it at that because I think that's a good statement right there, Ben. So yeah, we got the momentum going into North Carolina. Hopefully, we can only get better. And on that note, everyone, I am ND Sean 45.
I'm Irish Benjamin 57.
And as we always say, good night, God bless, and go Irish.
Go Irish, baby.